Hey forum, my name is Manny, aka CascadeScents. Welcome to another video. In case it's your first time here, just know that I'm a longtime fragrance enthusiast on and off YouTube. So if you're interested in scent and or you're looking to learn a little bit more about it, this might be the channel for you. And like the title says, this video is on more reactions to celebrities' fragrances, specifically on the hit series here on YouTube by GQ called 10 Things I Can't Live Without. I'm personally a big fan of that series, so I'm really excited to get into this. I already did part 1 of this video, which I'll leave somewhere on the screen for after if you want to see it, and or in the description below. So it goes without saying that I'm really excited for this part 2 here, and I hope you are too, so we might as well get into it.
Gotta keep the smell good on you. And it's just funny, this is kind of like, this is probably one of the first colognes I ever bought, like myself. Someone got it for me and I just...
And here we have professional gridiron football player and wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns, Mr. Odell Beckham Jr. And in his hands, Odell has arguably the most famous dupe of Millésime Impérial by Creed. It's called Unforgivable by Sean John. While the Creed has this luxurious, salty watermelon kind of vibe, the Sean John here does its best to keep up with a really pleasant citrus smell, bunch of citruses there that lean on the sweeter side. And while it really can't keep up in the dry down, I do think that this fragrance is good for the price, especially what you can find it on the discounted gray market for.
It's just kind of like my scent, you know, it's just something that I've had for the longest time. It's like me, like it just smells like me. And whoever else uses it, but it's just my scent really, that's how I feel.
And thinking about it now, I think this is actually really cool. Despite his millions of dollars and probably knowing of more expensive scents, Odell is quite content with smelling like himself for however many years now. This is a true signature scent approach, and sure, you aren't as open to trying new things when it comes to the world of fragrance, and while that might be more fun, it's just not for everyone, and I'm okay with people being into 0.00001 of the scent world than people not being into it whatsoever, so fair play to Odell. I don't know, maybe I was just expecting something a little flashier because he has an RM on the wrist here, but I digress.
This is Creed Aventus. Everybody who meets me asks me what I wear. This is me revealing what I wear. So if you want your boyfriend to smell like me, go get some Creed for Christmas.
And here we have certified platinum selling recording artist Roddy Ricch with an actual Creed, the infamous Creed Aventus. Cool how he said if you want your boyfriend to smell like him, because I just feel like if you have money, you probably have this scent, so I feel like a lot of people's boyfriends already smell like this.
It's not a specific smell, you could say. It's just like when you're around somebody and you smell them, they smell like money. Like when I smell doctors, this is what I think they smell like.
And Roddy's not wrong here. The Creed Aventus DNA is very unique, at least for its time. When it initially came out, to think of putting crowd-pleasing notes together for the first time that really haven't been done before, like pineapple, blackcurrant, birch, smoke, ambergris, musk, and for it to come out the way it did, it was just an instantaneous home run. Definitely smells regal, masculine, imposing, alpha, and like Roddy said, fit for maybe a doctor even, although I'm pretty sure doctors typically wouldn't wear stuff to the practice more often than not. So I guess it's like what I said, fit for anyone who's rich and or who could afford it.
It's probably one of my favorite colognes called Creed. I put this on, you know, if I'm having an interview, if I'm going out, if I'm getting fresh for a football game, this is kind of my go-to. It's just a nice old school smell. It's called Green Irish Tweed.
And here we have another professional gridiron football player, safety for the Kansas City Chiefs, Tyrann Mathieu. Tyrann here rocking another Creed in Green Irish Tweed this time, and he is exactly right as far as professional usage per se. This was the OG breakout scent of Creed prior to Aventus. Just really high level stuff evocative of the Irish countryside, so it smells very green and very fresh.
Gives you that old presidential, like, who is this guy? What does he do for a living kind of smell. So it smells pretty good.
And yeah, when this scent is not duped by like a Davidoff Cool Water, you're simply looking at how high level of a scent this is. That green Irish countryside vibe just comes off as super gentlemanly. Smells like someone you can trust, like I guess a president, hopefully.
I think it's extremely important how you smell, you know, obviously before you open your mouth. I think people are willing to embrace guys and girls that smell really good.
Scent or smelling something is that invisible aura that is the most carnal of our senses, arguably. So at the very least, just don't smell bad, but smelling good and or interesting is just such a nice cherry on top. And I'm going to believe and presume that Tyrant here has never not been embraced because of a scent like Green Irish Tweed. The scent is almost 40 years old, but it's still bestseller, so what can I say?
My next essential, Cologne. Smell like money.
And here we have yet another certified platinum selling recording artist, this time in Yo Gotti. And in his words, Yo Gotti is smelling like money in Santal 33 by Labo. Santal 33 being the most notorious scent that Labo has to offer, mainly because it's since been dubbed as the scent of New York because a lot of people there wear it. Its legendary sillage is undeniable. It smells like this synthetic, musky, smoky sandalwood. Sandalwood being a soft wood, typically leaning in a more creamier direction that in my mind is to die for. I personally really like sandalwood in other scents like Gypsy Water by Rito or maybe Sacred Wood by Kilian. But again, here there's something just too pungent about it. There's a little bit of a green backbone in the back. It's just not for me. But admittedly, in the air, it does smell really interesting. It's also beast, so I understand why people kind of like to wear this because it's showy and when you walk around, people notice it. Does it smell like money? Debatable.
You know what I mean? It's custom to me. It say CMG KOM. On her, CMG is the label, KOM is King of Memphis, Santal 33.
Yeah, I personally don't get tired of being able to personalize my Labo. I just think that and or the at desk or in-store experience is just super fun. They make you buying a fragrance from them a little bit different from everyone else. So it's quite the marketing machine in itself, so I'm not shocked to see a lot of celebrities boost their brand.
That good old Dior Cologne, man. Can't go nowhere without smelling good, man. Petty Wop. For example, there's a lot of people knowing me in the video. I pulled the Dior out my back pocket and I said, Dior my cologne. She said my sin is her obsession.
So here we have another certified platinum selling recording artist in Young M.A. And here Young M.A. is actually rapping about the notorious Dior Savage, Petty Wop being one of my personal favorite tracks of hers. And I guess as far as luring people into people being into your scent in general, this scent DNA is just really hard to compete with. It just does the job. Dior Savage, known for that synthetic take on ambergris called ambroxan. It's an ambery, musky kind of accord that kind of just sucks people in. So that paired with the bergamot opening that you get upon first hit, again, like she said, girls love it.
I'm one of them type of people that I feel like my smell good is fading. I have to spray at least 3 more sprays real quick. It's like a little traditional thing, like a dance now. When you put on your cologne, you gotta do a dance. It's called the cologne dance. But yeah.
Now I actually really like what Young M.A. does here. Clearly she's not afraid to top up, and I understand that some of y'all are because it is costly. Fragrances aren't cheap, but if you want to get a hit of that bergamot opening again, if you want to get a hit of that more intense ambroxan off the bat again, that nice musky aura, then don't be afraid to re-up because you deserve to feel that way more than once a day. But just like anything else, everything in moderation. You don't have to go too crazy with the sprays. Just be conscious of your weather. It's going to project more when it's hotter and humid and then less if it's the opposite. And also be wary if you want to spray it on your clothes directly, kind of like she is doing here with her dance, because I know some of y'all don't really like things lingering on you after you're done wearing it. But yeah, overall good shit here to Young M.A.
Item number 1 would be these 2 bad boys here. Ah, man, let's show you how I do it.
And last but not least, here we have yet another certified platinum selling recording artist, Mr. Trey Songz. And Trey's rocking a perfect pair of Tom Ford's signature collection fragrances, one being Orchid Soleil and the other one being Black Orchid Eau de Parfum, one of my personal favorites. But before we get into them, I must say I am very impressed by the fact that he actually sprayed them on properly, at least that I've seen on this series. Yes, if you are going to spray anything, anywhere, it might as well be your neck. There your fragrance is going to radiate the most just because there's the most blood flow and heat there. So as your fragrance or fragrances is evaporating off of your skin and therefore radiating its beautiful aura, you and everyone else is just going to get more of that effect from here rather than somewhere else.
You got Black Orchid, you got Orchid Soleil, This one is a little more masculine. This one has a little softer scent, so they kind of come together beautifully. Everybody asks me what I wear, and I never tell them, but I figured GQ wanted to know, I should tell y'all. So it's time for it.
And yeah, Trey's not wrong here at all. Orchid Soleil is definitely more reliant on feminine smelling white florals, very pretty, versus the more somewhat earthy and decadent, sweeter approach in Black Orchid. Sure, you also have feminine smelling florals here, but again, it's become more of a unisex favorite because of that deep sweetness. So props to Trey Songz for also having the courage to rock that, and of course Orchid Soleil. And since Trey has more for us scent wise, we might as well get into those things too.
This is a Santal candle, number 26, Labo. These are all around my house at home, so when I'm on the road, you know, hotel to hotel, tour bus, I love to have this smell because it makes me feel like I'm in a familiar setting.
And that's what's cool about scent. It's not just for you, it's also for your place. I mean, where you're living at, I presume you spend a lot of money to stay at, so you might as well treat it too to some scent. So definitely invest in some home fragrance if you have yet to. Doesn't necessarily have to be as pricey as Santal 26 by Labo, but try not to neglect it, especially if you are also tired of smelling stuff off of yourself.
It smells really clean, and it takes over the room. Like in the hotel, like you can smell my room from like the elevator. And it's also good for like alleviating other smells.
So I'm not going to speak on the last part, but I wonder what other smells Mr. Trey Songz is talking about here. So just like Santal 3326 has quite the projection as well. In Kendall talk, they call that a throw, like when you're throwing something. So the larger the throw, the larger the smell. And here it sounds like it's borderline monstrous, which is pretty cool. And admittedly, I do the same thing too. I always bring candles with me wherever I travel.
Much like the candle I showed you earlier, Santal 26, amazing fragrance. If you take like a long trip in the bathroom, and it's not me at all, but you know, you want to.
Now, I personally think this is a little overkill, but I get it if you want that cohesion. You want that more aggressive take on a scent. You want it to burn and therefore envelop the room. Use your candle. But to have a home fragrance room spray version in lighter doses, especially for, I guess, the bathroom, I think this also makes sense too. But yeah, I figured I react to these two just because I'm kind of impressed with what Trey Songz had to offer here. He had the trifecta in personal fragrance, room spray, and candles. Really cool shit. That being said, that about does it for me. Hope you had as much fun as I did reacting to some of these celebrities and their scents. If you guys want to tell me in the comments below which celebrity had your favorite scents, I'd love to know. Also, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more if you really enjoyed content like this too, as it really helps me out and it really helps you out too, as far as if you want this right away. And yeah, I guess I'll just catch you later. Take care for now, Forum. Peace out. Bye. My name is Manny. Wear your fragrances.